and see that this is what this is what scares me about the American public, because they're so prone to misinformation that they'll just spread it like a virus.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh my God, I can't. I honestly, the people, and I wish, the friends that are on my Facebook, and I have over 500 friends on Facebook, and about half of them, I wish I can meet them in person and just slap them upside the head and say, "What the hell were you thinking?" I mean, come on, read the freaking article. I mean, a headline is one thing. I mean, come on. Honestly, I could write an article on, online and put the headline, "The President of the United States is dead." And do you have any idea how many people would click on that article? I mean, a lot. I mean, a lot of people would click on that article. And to find out that, I'm talking about JFK. But how many people would actually click on that article just to find that out? So now it looks like we got another caller coming in here. We got area code 925. Hi, you're live on the Resistance. Who are you and where are you from?
Hey, Nick, this is Ernie Shaw from California.
Well, my good friend Ernie, how you doing there?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So
it's good to hear you're on the radio again, man.
I know. It's been a long time. I know. I took a bit of a hiatus there. But, just the things that are going on in politics and U.S. government is, I had to go on air with Resistance. I mean, of all the stupidity that I've seen on Facebook and social media, it's okay, come on, people. Really?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. So, I mean, now tell me, Ernie, what is the stupidest thing that you've heard of? So far, at least.
God.
I know that's a loaded question. I know. I know it's a loaded question, but I mean, whether it be the presidential race or what's going on with Barack Hussein Obama or Barry Soetoro, whoever you want to call him, dictator in chief. I mean, let me ask you this, okay? Let me retract that question and let me ask you this question. How far do you think we are from the second revolution?
That's really hard to tell.
Okay, look.
Let me go back to your first question, and maybe I can make this a little bit simpler for my personal opinion.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the people in this country and in this nation have lost their ever-loving freaking minds.
I would agree with that.
In every way possible. There are so many things wrong with this country right now. I mean, look at the Patriot movement. Even us patriots that are trying to do things, as soon as we set off to do something, everyone's chomping at each other's feet.
Yep.
Pulling up past police reports and, just slandering each other. And it's just insane, brother.
I know.
So something's going to happen eventually. Something's going to happen.
Okay. So how long do you think it'll be till something happens?
Well,
I think of this as the Powerball before someone won it. The $1.8 billion Powerball. So what would your number be on the number of years before the second shot heard around the world is?
Well, first of all, dude, I won't even buy a Powerball ticket.
Hey, neither will I.
I may not be qualified for the question.
Well, it's an educated guy. Look, you're part of the Patriot movement. You're a brother in arms. I know that for a fact. I've met you personally in California, in Sacramento at the Capitol. Which, honestly, I thought you'd be a little taller than I imagine, but
Yes,
it's
sir.
okay. But how long do you think it'll take before the second shot heard around the world? Because honestly, to me, I'm thinking it's inevitable. I mean, we have Obama here. He's already signed the executive orders. Making gun purchases and quote unquote gun control better, so to speak, even though they're not enforcing the current gun control laws already. But hey, let's add more to the fire there. But eventually it's going to come to the point where Americans say enough is enough. So, and we're seeing that in Oregon right now with the Bundy brothers.
Yeah.
So, which I've seen the videos. I've seen that the U.S. government has planted spy cameras upon telephone poles that are disguised as utility boxes to spy on the quote unquote insurgency of Oregon. But how long? Yeah, I mean, how long are Americans going to take this?
Well, brother, I think. Okay, I kind of tend to divide this whole country into two factions. Those of us that know what the hell's going on, or at least assume what the hell's going on, and the others that have pretty much surrendered their liberty to the federal government, the government in general, and they're okay with that.
See, now
I don't.
Oh, go ahead. Well, I was just going to say that I would actually divide it into three sections. Is one, the first one being that, the group of people that know exactly what's going to go on, what's happening, and they can see the writing on the wall. The second group is the undecided people that they don't know which way to go. They're kind of following the political wind, so to speak. And then you got the third group that go USA, go Obama. Yeah, he is the greatest president we've ever had. Let's put him on Mount Rushmore. Kind of thing. That's where I see it. Three groups. But go ahead. Okay, and I think I lost Ernie.
Yeah, I think so. It kind of went dead there.
Yeah, it did. Well, and I'm sure I know he'll call back. So, and he did say he was in a bad reception area. So, folks, that's something we cannot help on here on the Resistance. People's cell phone reception, and apparently there in California, your reception fucking sucks.
Well,
get on Moonbeam Brown. But go ahead, Jason. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, going back to what you're talking about with
Yes.
the surveillance state, unless you've been living under a rock, people should know what's going on, and should have some sort of what do I want to call it, sense that something isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as that, that second shot heard around the world, I still think, and this is just Jason, this is just my opinion, it has nothing to do with anything else. I think that stuff that's going on over in Oregon right now, let me, hold on just a second, I'm getting feedback.
Oh, okay. Well, we just added on Ernie. Is that you?
Yep.
Okay. We
Yes,
just
sir.
had.
Sorry about that.
Not a problem. We just had Ernie back into the conversation. So, Jason, go ahead and finish your thought there. Jason?
There we go. Yeah, sorry
Okay.
about that. Yeah, I had to switch off so I wasn't getting feedback through my mic.
Not a problem. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah, anyways, my thought and my opinion is that the stuff going on in Oregon, it's gonna grow very big, and you're gonna see, because what was it today? The governor there in Oregon had already called for the feds to actually get those patriots out of there, and
jeez.
I really think that will be the second shot heard around the world, because it's coming. It really is. They're going to Waco that one way or another. They will.
If anyone is in southeastern Minnesota that has a surplus of AR-15s or M16s, by all means get a hold of me, because I want one so I can defend this country. This country that I love. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's just that in a nutshell. Because and the reason why I say that is we've seen how out of control these government officials are. I mean, down to local levels, they're running ramshot over everybody right now.
Well, and here's the thing: you talk about local officials. You know, I live, like I said, I live here in Minnesota. I live here in southeastern Minnesota. I'm about 30 minutes away from Rochester. The Mayo Clinic or whatever, which I will say is the most worthless clinic ever. Anyways. Here in this small town, and I do mean small, maybe about 1,500 people, and that's kind of a stretch. In this small town, the district attorney and the public defender are actually law partners. They work in the same law practice.
That's a conflict of interest.
Exactly. It is. But yet no one says anything or does anything about it. Because it's such a small town that, no one thinks about it or anything like that. And that's the thing, is honestly, when it comes to, quote unquote political science, in education, I honestly think that political science should be taught as early as 5th grade. Okay, you should start teaching social studies or history or whatever at 3rd grade or even 2nd grade. By the 5th grade, you should be getting into political science. So, now, Ernie, I know you just got back into the conversation here. If you can finish up your thought there. What you were talking about?
Well, I'm not really too sure where I got cut off at.
No, don't worry. I don't either. But I
just know as Patriots, we got to be really careful, man.
Right. Well,
we got to really be careful, because if this thing's going to pop up right, we have to be. Like I've said ever since the beginning when I met you and before you, man, we got to be better than those who we're seeking to remove.
Right, and
which means we have to have honor and integrity and all that stuff. We have to make sure that we follow certain traits as human beings standing up for liberty.
Exactly, and see here's the thing, people out there, my listeners, is Ernie here. I met him 2 years ago in Sacramento for what was an Operation American Spring?
Yeah, I believe it was a continuation to try to get support for the people still in Washington D.C. at that time.
Right, and there was the protest going on in Washington D.C. and I just knocked a cup over, but oh well. Good thing I had a cover on it. But I met Ernie in Sacramento, California, where we tried to have a sister protest of Operation American Spring in Sacramento, California. That's where we met. Now, Ernie, this next step number 5 of the 10 steps of closing an open society, i.e. America, is to infiltrate, I don't know if I'm saying that right, infiltrate an ordinary citizen group like Operation American Spring. Now, if you remember Ernie as well as I do, I remember it very, very well, is there were a lot of infiltrators into that group.
Yeah, well, I heard there was a lot of stories, but we know for a fact that one of them was Mr. Kessler.
Well, and there was actually a woman, too.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a woman too. I forget her name, and she's not noteworthy or anything